which we will address forthwith. We have recently, in a previous transmission, talked about the idea of the eye of the hurricane, and we talked about how your year of 2020 would be chaotic, like you are being surrounded by a storm, and the encouragement to stay in the center where things are calm so that you can deal with all of the happenings that you may not be used to, that may seem chaotic all around you, swirling all around you, thundering all around you. But by remaining in that center, in the calm space, you will be able to handle what comes. Now, we are addressing the idea of the eye of the needle. For this is the center point, energetically, of this passage that you are experiencing right now. And as we said during the eye of the storm, that your year of 2020 would be crazy, would be nuts, you are now experiencing things you thought you would not experience in your lifetime. And therefore it is most important to understand a few of the things that have created this circumstance and the things that you need to do to pass through the eye of the needle and come out the other side, stripping away those things that are no longer you, truly letting them go, so that you can emerge on the other side of the eye of the needle, on the other side of this passage, as more of your true self. And that also implies the idea of a higher ability to eventually experience contact with us. For without stripping the things away, you will not fit through this narrow passage of the eye of the needle sufficiently to be able to interact with us clearly on the other side. Let us begin by listing just 3 things that are of paramount importance with regard to the circumstance as it exists and why this has come about. Number 1, some time ago we told you that everything would change in the fall of 2016, and obviously, in many ways, socially, politically, economically, it has. And now that you are in the midst of it, squarely in the center of it, you will find that one of the reasons for the present experience of your pandemic is because the kinds of changes, many of which were based on fear-based beliefs, have spread around your planet, again, socially, politically, in such a manner as to depress the collective immune system of the people of your world. The uncertainty, the stress, the negativity that has been put out from various sources on your planet, around the globe, has stressed the energetic and physiological immune system of the people of your world to the degree where opportunistic organisms, such as viruses, can more readily take hold and spread more quickly, more easily around the globe. So the idea in passing through the eye of the needle is to truly let go of being affected by what others may be putting out that is vibrationally incompatible with what you prefer to be and the world you prefer to experience. And even though, remember, that you may still hear them and see them, they do not have to affect you until you agree to be affected. So this is an important time for you to truly get in touch, get a hold of your own fear-based belief systems, let them go, and replace them with ones that are strong and in alignment with who you are, so that your immunity will not be affected in the way that it has been during this circumstance, during this time. in the depression of the collective energetic consciousness, physiological immune system, you will find that this will continue for a little while. But as we said, you are in the center now of this passage. The amount of time you have already spent in it will approximately be the amount of time you will continue to spend in it until such time as you arrive on the other side of this passage. Even though the analogy of the eye of a needle may seem that the passage through the eye would be short, remember that you exist in a world of space-time, and therefore things will stretch out a little bit, giving you the opportunity to work with your belief systems over the course of a few months, before the eye and after the eye, as we have said, to give you time to get in touch with these things, to go through the processes you need to go through, and to let go of the things that no longer serve you. But again, I say to you, you have to remember that what you do not let go of that is vibrationally incompatible with the world you prefer, and in particular with regard to contact with us and other beings like us, you will find that if you do not let them go, once you arrive on the other side of the eye of the needle, it may be more challenging for us to make connections with you. You may find us fading in and out. You may find that there are certain times when it will not be possible for us to come through to the variety of versions of Earth that are not stripping themselves cleaner than the others, allowing us to then match the frequencies with you that would be representative of continued contact. So there will be consequences of holding on to belief systems that don't serve you with regard to contact on the other side of the eye of the needle. Now, the second thing that is important to understand that brought about the circumstance you are experiencing with regard to the pandemic, again has to do with your relationship to Earth and the destruction that humanity has created in many of the ecosystems, ecological niches upon the Earth. Because when you destroy certain ecological systems that contain these viruses, and they are no longer held in check by the system that was there naturally, maintaining themselves within that environment, within the animals that are now depleted because their ecological environment has been destroyed, you are affording the virus more opportunity to find new hosts, which means you. For they can no longer find sufficient hosts in the animal kingdom or the tree kingdom to contain them within those ecological environments. So you have removed, through massive destruction of ecological systems, the barriers and the environments that would contain the viruses you are now experiencing. So this goes hand in hand with the idea of fear-based belief systems, the ideas of lack, insufficiency, the idea of rampant destruction, the idea of disconnection from nature has had a paramount effect on your experience with the idea of opportunistic organisms that have created and can create more pandemics on your planet. Until such time as you allow yourselves in the world in which you prefer to exist to take the actions necessary to restore some of those systems and bring balance back to your world. The third thing that we will address regarding the present situation that can be used in a very powerful and positive way is the fact that you have now placed yourselves in a type of isolation environment. This will be equivalent to the idea, this sequestering of the compression that we have spoken about before, so that you can transform the energy not into depression, but into compression. Isolating yourselves, withdrawing yourselves into the center of your being, so that you may have the time and the space and the environment to stay within yourselves and process and let go of those fear-based belief systems you have been carrying with you, like a disease, for so many years in your lives. It is time to truly strip yourselves of those fear-based belief systems, going through whatever processes of imagination and creativity and positive, powerful love for yourselves and each other that you can muster during this time, to allow yourselves to really get in touch with your indestructible core and remove the surface features that would be representative of other belief systems that belong to other people that have nothing to do with you. So take this time of sequestering, take this time of isolation, take this time of distancing, take this time of withdrawing into your own environments so that you may be cocooned in a way and in a manner most conducive to emerging on the other side of the eye of the needle as the beautiful butterflies that you all are within. Find your true selves and transform yourselves into these new beings that are sparkling clean and not surrounded by a mist of fear-based beliefs, for they will not pass easily through the eye of the needle, and neither will you if you do not let them go. Now, we would like to introduce a process that you can utilize in your sequestering, in your cocoon, that can help you accelerate your ability to divest yourself of those beliefs that don't belong to you, that are out of alignment with you, to make it easier to pass through this eye of the needle unscathed and come out the other side into a vibrational reality that is more conducive to the type of experience you prefer and more conducive to the continuation of contact with us and others like us. It is a 5-step process, very simple, but some of you may find it to be quite challenging because you are not used to doing these things on a daily basis. But now you have the time to do so, and we would encourage you, strongly encourage you, to take the time to go through these 5 steps for yourself to help you streamline and let go of those things that will not serve you and will not allow you to pass through the eye of the needle quickly and easily and smoothly and effortlessly and joyfully. So pay attention now to this particular process, this particular powerful permission slip of the 5 steps of passing through the eye of the needle with joy, with freedom, with true self-empowerment. Step number 1. Even though, up to this point, from many different sources, you may have experienced people who have done things, said things that are vibrationally incompatible with the reality you prefer, even though you may have found that you are capable of being triggered with your own fear-based belief systems into being someone that you truly don't prefer to be, giving over to judgment, to anger, to fear, to sadness, all of the ideas and experiences that you do not need to experience further, you must allow yourself fully to embrace the first step, and that is to forgive. Forgive all who have transgressed against you. No more does resistance work. No more does hanging on to the past in that sense work. No more does the idea of expecting someone else to fix you, to change you. No more do you need to wait for those to see the error of their ways for you to move forward in freedom and power. Do not wait for them to change. Do not wait for apologies for what they've done. Forgive them and be free. Let go of regrets. Let go of any need for anyone else to give you permission in any way, shape, or form to move forward through the eye of the needle. Forgive them all. matter what they have done. The second step is to forgive yourself for putting yourself in any position that allowed you to experience the frustration, the anger, the regret, the sorrows. Do not hold on to them. Let them go. You do not need them anymore. Do not judge yourselves for what you have done. It has all brought you to this point. Forgive yourself completely, freely, after you have forgiven everyone else for anything they have ever said or done. You must move on from that state to a different state. It is imperative in order to get through the eye of the needle. You even have it, a version of these two steps, in some of your own religious teachings. And without coding it with religion, it is not our intention to bring you back to that state, but simply hear clearly the first two steps, even in what you have called the Lord's Prayer. Allow yourself to forgive yourself as you forgive others who have trespassed against you. Forgiveness is the key that will allow passage through the eye in the smoothest possible way. So forgive yourself after you have forgiven others. And step 3 is to begin to allow yourself to then truly no longer inform yourself from your past self. You may learn lessons from the past, but no longer wallow in the idea of past events, the past self, and how the past self would have reacted to things, for that is no longer you. Let go of the negative reactions, the negative behaviors of the past self. Do not inform your future from your past behaviors, from your past emotions, from your past thoughts, from your past experiences. Learn from them and bring the knowledge and understanding you have gained from that, but do not be that. Be an observer now of the past, not a participant in the past. Just observe only those elements that you require to apply to your lessons in life so that you will not repeat those thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and experiences. Let go of that personality. It is no longer you. Step 4. Begin then to inform yourself, not from the past, but from your future self. It is calling to you on the other side of the eye of the needle. Heed the call. Move forward in the way your future self would. Imagine, visualize that future version of you. Behave, feel, think as that future self. You all have future selves. From your linear space-time perspective, take advantage of the fact that you have set yourself up this way in space-time, that you have anchored yourself into the future, and that it is pulling you toward it through the eye of the needle. Heed it, listen to it. The higher mind calls you through passion. Follow the formula, for that is what the future self does every day and every moment that it can. There is no other breath that it takes. There is no other action that it takes other than that which is aligned with the formula of acting on your passion to the best you can, with no insistence, no assumption of the outcome, and choosing to remain in a positive state so that you can receive the benefit of whatever manifests. And even if that should be something you objectively don't prefer, you know it's there for a reason, and let it serve you by knowing that. Let it show you how it serves you. Just by remaining in the state that you know it is not an accident, that it is there for a reason that serves you. The future self is calling on the other side of the eye of the needle. Let it pull you through easily, swiftly, effortlessly. Anchor to the future self inform yourself from the future you, not the past, any longer. And finally, doing all of this, forgiving all others, forgiving yourself, letting go of the past personality, and informing yourself from the future version of you, you can then allow yourself to be fully in the present as you pass through the eye of the needle and beyond. And in that present, in this present time, you will be more and more, effortlessly, in an accelerated way, the true you, the core of your being, with all of the fear-based beliefs stripping away, streamlining you, leaving your raw essence, your indestructible core, the present self, the now self, living more in the now, and experiencing space-time as more malleable, more flexible, more fluid, as you become closer and closer, bonding with the vibration in harmony with your higher mind and spirit, and acting upon the earth in that manner. It is absolutely of paramount importance, if you wish to pass through the eye of the needle and maintain your connection in contact with us and others like us, that you strip away now, in this time, these things that no longer serve you. This is not a warning. Do not receive this in a negative way. This is a description of how you can be far more empowered and far more free and far more joyful than you have ever been in your lives, if you would but let go of those things that anchor you to the you are not, and cut those ties and snap those cords and free yourself from those chains, so that you may pass freely, effortlessly, and joyfully through the eye of the needle in this time of compression and centering and going within to find, to discover, and then eventually express the true beauty of your beings, of your inner light. And we leave you with this saying: they dwell in fear and darkness. Flow to them your unconditional love, so that their inner light may awaken, and that they may truly serve all beings on earth. Once again, they who dwell in fear and darkness, flow to them your unconditional love, so to awaken their inner light and allow them to serve, truly serve, all beings upon the earth. Forgive and move on. Forgive and let go. Forgive and be free. Ha'atu. Aveo. Our unconditional love to you all this day. We now, in return for you allowing us to share this powerful, transformational permission slip with you, ask in what way may we continue to be of service to you. You may begin, if you wish, with your question.